Evening, everybody. This is Sir Jude, and this is our video lecture for our lesson this morning. Okay, so I forgot my tablet and pen tablet, digital pen rather, at school. So I'm afraid I have to use the I'm afraid I have to use the texts here in the Microsoft PowerPoint presentation. So apologies for that. But anyway, let's make the most out of it. So we started our session by picking up from where we left off from our previous lesson yesterday, using the same chemical reaction, which is photosynthesis. So let's determine what each symbol or reagent represents. Okay, so for number one, the triangle symbol. Triangle is used to denote that heat was applied. Okay. Number two, arrow pointing to the right. This one indicates that photosynthesis is an irreversible reaction. When you say irreversible, it is product favored, and once you form the products, you cannot return back to its cannot form the cannot transform it back to reactants anymore. Okay. Next is sunlight. Sunlight is found at the top of the arrow pointing to the right, and for that, sunlight acts as our catalyst. Number four, G, L, and AQ. So these refer to gas, liquid, and aqueous respectively. So these three are states of matter. Number five, CO2 gas and H2O liquid. Both are found at the left side of the equation, meaning that photosynthesis will not start without them. Therefore, these two are reactants. On the other hand, glucose, C6H12O6 aqueous, and O2 gas, both are found at the product at the right side of the arrow, so therefore they are products. Their presence indicates that the chemical reaction is successful. Okay? And finally, the underlined number 6 for CO2, 6 for H2O, 1 for C6H12O6, and 6 again for O2. So these underlined numbers are the coefficients. Okay? So that's all for the 7 parts of chemical equation. Oops. Ayan. So the next part is how will you read each reagent? No? So there is a proper way of we know that this chemical equation stands for photosynthesis, but there is a proper way of reading each reagent. No? So for example, in 6CO2G, so how do you read that? We read that as 6 moles of gaseous carbon dioxide. We mentioned the coefficient first, followed by the state of matter, and then our reagent or the chemical formula. Now, using this template, for 6H2L, that refers to 6 moles of liquid H2O or water. For 1 mole of C6H12O6 or glucose, this is 1 mole of aqueous C6H12O6. And finally, for 6O2G, that refers to 6 moles of gaseous oxygen or 6 moles of gaseous O2. Okay, so yesterday, all of the chemical equations were provided to you. And for starting with this lesson, you will now provide the chemical equation with the help of our new lesson, which is writing chemical equations. Okay, so our goal for this lesson is to write chemical equations based on our word problems and derive from your knowledge of parts of a chemical equation yesterday. Okay, so our first chemical reaction has something to do with the rust in metallic chains, no? So rusting of iron. Okay, and this is our word problem. So 4 moles of solid iron, Fe, react irreversibly with 3 moles of gaseous diatomic oxygen, O2, to produce 2 moles of solid rust, which is Fe2O3. So, ayan, this is where I will start writing or rather typing, no? The chemical equation. And because I forgot my tablet, my writing tablet and my pen, I will have to rely on PowerPoint presentation instead. Okay, so let's start. Ayan. So, the first question that I asked you this morning was, um, what kind of arrow are we going to use? So, from the word irreversible, we're going to use a right-sided arrow, which is this. Ayan. Okay? So, we cannot have iron wouldn't be rusting without the presence of iron first. So therefore, foremost of solid iron is a reactant. That's why we have to put it on the left side. And we put the coefficient first on the left side of the chemical formula, followed by the state of matter, solid, abbreviated as small letter S, and enclosed in a parenthesis on the right side of the chemical formula. Okay? And also, ay hindi siya mangangalawang kung walang presence ni oxygen. So, because iron and oxygen must react together, therefore, you need to put the symbol plus followed by oxygen, O2. No? And there, according to the problem, for this reaction to materialize, we must have 3 moles of diatomic oxygen gas. And that's why you write 3 at the left side of O2 and abbreviate small letter G close in the parenthesis at the right side of O2. Okay, so at this point, our reactant side is already complete and we don't have any other product other than the rust, which is Fe2O3, which according to the problem is 2 moles and is solid. Okay, so after finishing the reactants and product sides, the next question that I asked is there a catalyst and do we need a triangle symbol? And because we already used all the reagents in bold, no? And therefore we don't have any catalyst, therefore rusting can proceed on its own without any chemical accompaniment of a catalyst, and it doesn't even require heat. Okay? Meaning we're done writing chemical equation for rusting of iron. Okay? Next. Our second problem has something to do with sublimation of dry ice. And here's our word problem for that. 1 mole of gaseous carbon dioxide, CO2, reversibly diffuses when 1 mole of its solid form sublimes at negative 78.5 degrees Celsius. Okay, start with it. Sige. Now, in this problem, our arrow that we're going to using is a double-sided one because according to the problem, these are reversible reaction. So let's use a double-sided arrow. Ayan. Okay, next po. So let's have the reactants and the products now. This is a tricky one because even if we started the problem with the words 1 mole of gaseous carbon dioxide or CO2, we know that sublimation must start with the solid form of CO2 first. Therefore, okay, this is our first problem where we encountered that the first reagent that I mentioned isn't actually a reactant, but a product. So we will going to write CO2 at the right side, okay, with a coefficient of 1 and its state of matter is a gas. Okay? This is an indication that you have to read and understand the problem first before writing anything. Sa first problem kasi natin, walang problem in a way na we started, the word problem started with a reactant and we started writing with a reactant as well. But this time, no, the very first reagent mentioned is actually a product, not a reactant. Okay? Now, this problem is an example of a phase change in a way na you will start with carbon dioxide and you end up with carbon dioxide as well. Yun nga lang, different state. And because it's a sublimation, you start with the same reagent but solid lang po this time around. Ganyan. Okay? Kasi nga, when 1 mole of its solid form sublimes, okay? And notice that we have another component here, which is negative 78.5 degrees Celsius, no? And that tells us that heat is required. So therefore, ayusin ko lang po itong kay arrow natin. Palitan ko lang. And I need to put kasi a triangle under the double-sided arrow. Wait lang po. Yeah, I need to delete this one and then lalagay po ako ng triangle. Ayan. Okay. Actually, in some references, no, you may put negative 78.5 degrees Celsius below, but in this case, no, para hindi kayo ma-confuse, you simply write a triangle and I understood that heat is already required. Okay, so that's our chemical equation for sublimation of dry ice. Okay, now, let's proceed to the third one. Oh, okay, meron tayong red wine here, which is derived from grapes. Kaya our next reaction has something to do with fermentation of grape juice. And in fermentation of grape juice, here's our word problem. Medyo mahaba compared to the previous problems. 1 mole of aqueous glucose C6H12O6 in grape juice irreversibly ferments to 2 moles of aqueous ethanol C2H5OH and 2 moles of gaseous carbon dioxide CO2 with the help of the complex enzyme zymase from yeast. Okay? So this long problem also requires a lot of critical thinking and the same time I think this is the problem na kung saan lahat ng parts ng chemical equation ay represented na. Okay? Sige. Let's attack this problem one by one. Okay? So first, si fermentation ay nagaganap irreversibly. So what do we need first is an arrow pointing to the right. Yan. Ayan ko lang. Yan. Okay. Next. We start our problem with the grape juice. And the grape juice contains 1 mole of aqueous glucose. So our first reagent is thankfully a reactant. No? So C6H12O6 na aqueous and has a coefficient of 1. Okay? So, grape juice irreversibly ferments. Therefore, si glucose lang ang kaisa-isa nating reactant for this reaction. And once it ferments, it transforms to our products, the first of which is ethanol, C2H5OH, with a coefficient of 2, and a state matter of aqueous. And the other product is carbon dioxide, with a coefficient of 2 as well, but exists naturally in gaseous form. Okay? Now, so may bago tayong part sa ating problem. Nagkamali ako kanina, hindi pala lahat ng parts ay represented with this one because this time walang temperature, so no need for a triangle, no? Apologies for my mistake. So therefore, the new part here that wasn't present in the two previous problems is our enzyme zymase from yeast. And by the wording, enzyme acts as our catalyst. No? So therefore, we put catalyst kasi at the top of the right-sided arrow in this case. So baguhin ko lang po ulit. Okay, using ko lang po yung formatting. Dali lang po. I will choose this one and then write zymase at the top. Ayan. Sometimes in Catalyst, no, we put a chemical formula just like everybody else that you see here. But sometimes as well, I just put the, ano na lang, the spelled word. So please rely on what I gave to you. No? Okay, so again, hindi pa niya nare-represent lahat ng parts ng chemical equation because this time, hindi po natin kailangan ng triangle because no heat was involved. Okay? Ayan. And finally, okay, kayo na tawag dito, nagpa 5-minute drill. Ako na kung saan yung first 5 students na makakagawa ng final equation natin for today ay may +5. So congratulations sa mga nakakuha ng +5, no? So ito na po siya. So you see a fainting man here who lost his consciousness. And para ma-regain ang kanyang consciousness, no, pinapasniff or amoy sa kanya ang ammonia. And for ammonia to form, this is our word problem. So 2 moles of gaseous ammonia, NH3, is reversibly produced when 1 mole of gaseous diatomic nitrogen, N2, reacts with 3 moles of gaseous diatomic hydrogen, H2, at 450 degrees Celsius with the help of iron or Fe catalyst. Okay, I think ito na talaga yung problem na kung saan represented lahat ng parts ng chemical equation. Okay, let's start with the arrow. Nakalagay po is reversibly produced. So, double-sided arrow gagamitin natin. There you go. Ito pala. Pagdating sa positioning ng reactants and products, nagkaroon po ng maraming confusion. And this is why, ang dami kong pinabalik sa inyo, ang dami kong in-encircle because nagkabaliktad ang reactants and products. So some of you know instinctively, just because ammonia ang una kong binanggit na reagent dito, doesn't necessarily mean that it is our reactant. Because from the title of our problem, it's formation. Siya yung binubuo. Hindi dapat sa kanya magsa-start ang equation. And because of that, ammonia is our product, not our reactant. Okay? So I write NH3 at the right side of the double-sided arrow. Has 2 moles and exists in gaseous form. Okay? And wala tayong mabubuong NH3 kung walang presence first ni nitrogen. Ayusin ko lang yung font. Ayan. Okay. Meron siyang 1 mole and exists in gaseous form. And kailangan niya mag-react with hydrogen, with 3 moles. And at the same time, exists also in gaseous form. Lahat pala sila in gaseous form. Ano? Okay, so kompleto na ang ating reactants and products. So, eto na. Okay? So, nabanggit po dito na this problem occurs at 450 this reaction rather requires heat in the form of at 450 degrees Celsius. So normally I will write the temperature below, but this time i-represent lang natin with a triangle. Okay? Yan. Lagyan ko lang muna ng triangle dito. Maya ko na lang ayusin ang format. Yan. Okay? Yun. And also, last but not the least, this reaction rather explicitly requires the catalyst ion in order to push through. And we know that we put a catalyst at the top side of the arrow. Some of you kanina placed the catalyst at the right side just because it happens to be the last reagent mentioned in the problem. Hindi po ganon. Okay? So, therefore, ayusin ko na naman si arrow. Eto. Yan. Then, dito ko ilalagay sa taas si FT. Ayun. Okay? So, as I said, this is the problem na kung saan represented po lahat ng ating parts ng chemical equation. Meron tayong double-sided arrow, meron tayong reactants N2 and H2, meron tayong products NH3, ang kanilang coefficients 1, 3, and 2 respectively, ang ating catalyst which is Fe, ang states of matter, puro sila gas. Okay? And finally, we have the triangle symbol wherein it states that heat is applied. All right. So that means it's time for our recap. Okay. So let's answer the following questions. Number 2, what are the reactant, product, and catalyst in the oxidation of isopropyl alcohol to acetone below? So a lot of you were a bit frozen in this problem, no? Just because meron na tayong structures present and ang haba na ng pangalan ng mga compounds. But as usual, ito lang naman ang technique yan. If I'm asking for a reactant, all you have to do is just look at the left side. And in the problem, it's isopropyl alcohol. Meaning, mamimili na lang kayo with letters B, C, or D. Okay? Pagdating sa product, we always look at the right side of the arrow, and our product is acetone. So, that means automatically the answer here is letter C. Yan. But kumpletuhin ko yung explanation. For catalyst, we look at the we look at the top of the arrow, and that's liquid CrO3, which stands for chromium 6 oxide. So, yeah, letter C nga po talaga ang tamang sagot for number 2. Okay, next, number 3. How will you write the equation for this reaction? So 1 mole of solid calcium carbonate CaCO3 irreversibly decomposes with heat into 1 mole of solid calcium oxide CaO and 1 mole of gaseous carbon dioxide CO2. Okay, so based sa problem, no? We start with 1 mole of sodium calcium carbonate CaCO3 decomposing. Therefore, it is our reactant. And because of that, we disregard A. We start with B, C, and D. Because it's irreversible, we need a arrow pointing to the right side. Therefore, ang pagpipilian na lang is letter B and D. Mali si letter C kasi double-sided arrow ang ginamit. And the reaction requires heat, and therefore we need the presence of a triangle. Therefore, the correct answer for this one is letter D. Simple. Yan. Okay. Our penultimate problem. Number 4. How will you interpret the hydrogenation reaction of ethene, C2H4, and diatomic hydrogen H2 into ethane, C2H6, set to heat at 150 degrees Celsius with solid nickel as a catalyst? So this is another example of a problem na kung saan lahat ng parts ng chemical equation ay represented. And when we read reagents, we always start with coefficients. Wala naman ng ibang option dito na nagsa-start sa coefficients kung di ang letter D. This one. Okay? So, 1 mole of gaseous C2H4 combines with 1 mole of gaseous H2. to produce 1 mole of gaseous C2H6 at 150 degrees Celsius with the help of solid L. So, yan po ang pinakakompletong um, wording ng ating chemical equation. Okay? And alas, we're now at the final problem. Papasensya na po kung medyo mahaba, no? So, student writes a chemical equation given this word problem. 2 moles of aqueous aluminum chloride, AlCl3, and 3 moles of gaseous diatomic hydrogen, H2, are irreversibly produced when 2 moles of solid aluminum, Al, reacts with 6 moles of aqueous hydrochloric acid, HCl. And ito ang sinulat ng bata. 2 AlCl3 aqueous plus 3 H2 gas forming 2 Al solid plus 6 HCl aqueous. And according to the problem, what he wrote was already incorrect. So, saan nagkamali ang student? So, is it letter A, use a right-sided arrow? Letter B, miswrote the states of matter? Letter C, reverse the reactants and products? Or letter D, forgot to write the catalyst above and the triangle below the arrow? Let's go into the options one by one. Letter A, mali ba na ginamit niya ang right-sided arrow? So, according to the problem, this reaction is irreversible. And if it is irreversible, we must use a right-sided arrow. So, therefore, tama yung ginawa ng student. And because we're looking for his mistake, hindi natin pwedeng isagot si letter A. So, we're now left with letters B, C, and D. Miswrote the states of matter. For AlCl3, it's aqueous. This one is aqueous. Walang problema. For hydrogen, it's gaseous. So, letter G. Tama siya. For aluminum or Al, it's solid, which is represented with letter S. So, tama na naman siya. And lastly, for HCl, it's aqueous again, represented with AQ. So, therefore, tama na naman siya sa states of matter. Hindi yan yung part kung saan siya nagkamali. Okay? So, we're now left with C and D. Letter C, reverse the reactants and products. So, reading the first two lines of this problem, 2 moles of aqueous aluminum chloride and 3 moles of gaseous diatomic hydrogen are irreversibly produced. Okay. So, if they are produced, therefore, hindi sa kanila pwedeng mag-start ang chemical equation. Sila dapat ang ating ending materials because AlCl3 and H2 are our products. And unfortunately, nakalagay ang products sa left side ng equation when in fact they must be at the right side. So therefore, dito siya nagkamali. This student reversed the reactants and the products. So what must be on the left must be written at the right, and what must be at the right must be written on the left side. That's why for this problem, the correct answer is letter C. Yan. So, sige, justify pa natin kung bakit hindi naman tama si letter D, no? The student forgot to write the catalyst above and triangle before the arrow. Walang catalyst na binanggit, no? And walang heat or temperature na binanggit as well. So, yeah, letter C nga talaga ang tamang sagot. Okay? As I mentioned in the class, a while ago, this morning, no? So, yung long test 1.2 natin is sobrang haba, no? We had to split it into 2 days. And part 1 of long test 1.2 will be covering the lesson yesterday, which is parts of a chemical equation, and the lesson today, which is writing chemical equations. We will have like a 15-minute review at the beginning first, and then you will have your part 1 of the long test afterwards. So napaka-igsi lang po ng coverage this time, but we must be careful in writing the chemical equations, placing them in the correct positions, no? Always go back to the problem, read, and then understand. Okay? So please review our 2 recent topics and enjoy your weekend. So till then, good evening, good night, and goodbye.